Hello, my beautiful people. Random fact that is not so random actually, because I was watching a movie. I was watching Ex Machina, and then I saw that they were talking about this specific test that is called Turing test. So Turing test is a test that is basically conducted between the AI machine, this artificial intelligence machine, and a human. But I started to think because there's a lot of things that you need to put in order to make this test successful. But then the real problem is like because the test is passed first. Okay, first of all, the test is passed if the human interacting with the artificial intelligence, maybe a human-looking person, or let's say someone through the phone, that the test is passed if the human doesn't recognize that he's talking to a machine. But that's the thing. How do you know if the test is passed if no one knows that you're talking to a machine? Hmm? For example, who can tell me that? Because let's say that I go to my office, like for example, now I'm in my office. This is the first time that I'm doing the random guy on video, and this is my lunch time, so that's why I'm still in my office. As you can see, I have my unicorn on the back. And so let's say I come to my office, and by just coincidence, someone very famous come, very famous, very smart. Let's say someone like Elon Musk. No, Elon Musk is. We have talked about Elon Musk too much. Let's say someone like someone who is very smart that I think I like. Um, I don't know. Oh, let's say Steve Jobs. Let's say Steve Jobs. I don't think I would like Steve Jobs as a person because after reading his biography, they say that he could be a piece of shit. But let's say that I go and meet him and I talk to him. And after talking a lot, then he leave. And I was like, wow, that's amazing, dude. So smart. How do I know if he's not an AI? And how anyone knows that it's an AI? And then as we go further, this test, how do we know that a lot of us around, around us, there are artificial intelligence brought from another world, maybe another dimension? But this is a different thing that we can even get into the domain of if we are real or not, if we are being run in a simulation. But anyway, that's a random thoughts here. Another random thoughts that I was thinking. Um, let me read something that I was looking in my LinkedIn. This is the thing when you find yourself reading more LinkedIn than Facebook. Maybe you figured out that you're getting old or something like that. Hmm. Uh, so I I do a lot of TikToks, maybe one or two, three per week. And one of the TikToks I made recently was about me wearing a mask. And now that I'm in Singapore and we are allowed not to wear masks after um, after a new mandate, basically because they're trying to reopen the country since coronavirus is not leaving. So they said that it was not mandatory anymore to wear the mask outdoors. So Fernando was there outdoors removing the mask, and I was walking around, and everyone was wearing mask, or not everyone, but a lot of people. So I made a video, and I was not being racist. I was not making any comments. I was just saying it was a comment that funny though that is not mandatory anymore. A lot of people still use it, and majority of them they were foreigners. And I start to get a lot of hate messages. Let's say, then people say like, "Hey, it's because of you foreigners that don't want to follow the rules." And I'm like, I'm following the rules. I wear my mask all the time. And then some other people say like, "Oh, now you are a mask expert," and I say, "No, I'm an expert in many other stuff, but not a mask. But I keep myself educated about it." And I was reading in WHO or in the CDC, I don't know, the Center for Disease Control or World Health Organization, any of those. Basically, um, uh, those bodies, non-governmental bodies, they have a lot of say in this pandemic. And in one of them, I don't remember which one, they were saying that the use of mask is not enough, is insufficient to stop the virus. They said if you use it, it might help to stop the virus. Nevertheless, it's insufficient. And on top of that, of being insufficient, he was talking about the specific mask that they need to be worn. That is basically the N95 and other type of designations, who basically means the same. And then in my head, I was saying, like, who use N95? Just people who works in hospitals. So the people who are outside don't. So I answered to this person in TikTok, like, I'm sure you're not wearing N95. So why are you making so much noise? I mean, I'm not an expert, but I know that this cloth masks that we use, this one is just, I mean, yes, if we cough or something, it might help, because these things, they don't filtrate enough, and the material is not electrostatic either. That the virus will get stuck on this, different than N95, for example. N95 has electrostatic material, and it will filtrate parts up to 30 microns, right? The size of the virus is 0.30 microns. The size of the virus is 0.10 microns. Nevertheless, the virus doesn't travel by itself. It travels with droplets of water, so that's why it gets stuck on the masks. Nevertheless, people keep using this. So I got so much hate on this TikTok, and then just suddenly I was reading on my iPhone, if you can see it there, and I would just read it. Another setback in Apple's RTO plan. RTO is return to office. COVID has thrown a wrench in Apple's return to office plans yet again. The iPhone maker is pressing pause on a new requirement that will have called workers back to the office 3 days per week, Bloomberg reports. Instead, scaling down expectations to twice a week for the time being. The new rule was set to go into effect on May 23rd, but is being delayed amid a rise in virus cases. Apple's return policy has recently stirred up controversy among staff, with some claiming it limits productivity and ignores other COVID concerns. Apple will also bring back masking in Silicon Valley offices, means that they will make mandatory to wear masks in their very nice campus there. And for this, everyone have a thing to say, of course. And majority of people are go against it, because you cannot, in a place like Apple, that is a technology firm, that they have a lot of innovation, you cannot ignore the necessity of human interaction. The human interaction is needed in order to be more, to create better products. This creative ambience is necessary. Everything done by video, like we're doing now, it doesn't engage people. It's not very engaging unless you're in TikTok showing your booty, like majority of my TikTok. But yeah, so that's something very interesting that we have to say. What is it? I read one interesting thing from someone here, and he says, okay, Jonathan Ayalon. Sorry if someone is hearing. I don't think Jonathan Ayalon is listening to my podcast, but he mentioned on this, related to this topic, he mentioned that, like it or not, companies will have to start selling their employees on coming into the office, whether it be by redefining and reinvigorating company culture, to setting up shop near their homes, to providing incentive. There is simply no way people will go back to an office 9 to 5 after having experienced 100 remote work for over 2 years. Adapt or die goes the same. And that's exactly true. I think he's right. But that's the funny thing, because Apple is not asking anyone to come 3 or 2 times a week. They're delaying the come at all. That I think that's kind of stupid. Same from us in my company that I work with, Emerson. We are not corporate-wise. In my 13 years and the whole story of Emerson, working from home, it was never been a policy. But since after happened this, they're trying to incorporate new policies, working from home some days, not every day, but some. And I think it's pretty smart. That's why I'm still working with this company. And look, I have my Costa Rican flag. This is what I started working. This is what I work with. And let me say that everything that I say here is my own. Doesn't need to be what Emerson thing that I'm saying is my own. It comes from my own mind. Um, so I have to say that because there's my shirt. But anyway, I was saying about, yeah, and I think it's a very smart move from Emerson to change the policies of working from home. I think is pretty cool because I don't mind to work from home some days. The nature of my work doesn't allow to do it all the time since I have to visit clients because I do things with machines and servers and things like that that we need to go to the client site. But other stuff I can just do in my computer because we part of my job is to do virtual environments and we can create remote connections and then that's it. Once it's connected, poof, you can go to your work, poof, or you can go to your home. Anyway, that's what I wanted to say. And we're going to have a meeting next week about what is the new plan for our company to do this. So cannot wait to see what's going to happen. Okay. And that's it. That was the only random thoughts that I have. I hope to see you guys soon. This is my comeback after, I think, 3-4 months in the Random Guy podcast. And this is my face. See you guys very soon. Say bye to my little unicorn there.